Hey Eagle fans, it's EaglefanKarl. This is going to be my preview and prediction video for Sunday's game against the Baltimore Ravens. And once again, the Eagles are touchdown underdogs going into this game, and it is a home game, and we're finally going to looks like we're going to have some fans at this game, but I don't know that that's going to make that huge of a difference. Ultimately, I think what this game comes down to is the fact that they have a really good running game, and it's going to be a question as to whether or not we can stop that or not. In fact, the Ravens are almost exclusively focused on the running game. They are third in the league in running, where they are 31st in the league in passing the ball. So really, it comes down to, how we can stop that run, which is good news for our secondary, which isn't that good, but it's not necessarily good news for the linebackers who have to try and stop the run, because our linebackers, as we all know, are not really good. And one of the reasons that's really problematic is because one of the things the Eagles have been actually best at this year is getting after the quarterback. And, one of the things I was thinking about is maybe this game comes down to who gets after the quarterback the best. And that's because the Eagles are third in quarterback sacks in the league, whereas the Ravens are fifth. So both teams up towards the top of the league in sacking the quarterback. But if they're not running the ball that much, it really sort of negates one of our advantages. And really it comes down to whether or not we can keep the game close so that they do have to throw the ball throughout the entire game and aren't able to just sort of go into that run game where they're just running out the clock if they're up by 2 scores. So it really raises the question as to whether or not the Eagles can keep this game close and keep it as maybe a one-possession game. If that's the case, then there is a silver lining here. The Eagles, I think, do have a chance to win this game, and it has more to do with the fact the Ravens' schedule than it does the Eagles being a better team. The NFL notoriously has games sometimes that just sort of come out of nowhere where a team wins it's not supposed to. And lots of times that has to do with the fact of how the other team's schedule is set up. And in this instance, this does set up favorably for the Eagles in the sense that the Ravens are coming off a division game, and their next game will be a division game as well, and there's also a bye thrown in there. So they played the Bengals last week. Next week they've got a bye followed by a big game against the Steelers. So this is sort of a trap game both between 2 division opponents and right before their bye. So they might be looking ahead both to their bye and their division opponent against the Steelers, which sometimes those things can work in your work to your advantage when you're an underdog like the Eagles are in this game. So that if the Eagles do win, that might play a factor in how we are able to pull it off, is just because the Ravens maybe aren't as sharp as what they normally are. So I gave you sort of the silver lining. So what's the bad in this? And the bad is that the Ravens, in terms of where it really matters is in scoring, are really, we're in a bad situation in that respect. And I say that because the Ravens are number 1 in scoring defense, and they're number 8 in scoring offense. So they keep teams from scoring points, and they put points up on the board themselves, which is problematic for the Eagles. The Eagles finally, their offense started to break out last week, so maybe we're starting to see a turnaround a little bit. Obviously, Travis Fulgham becomes the new darling of all the Eagles fans, so maybe that can continue and we can finally get our offense going. But ultimately, it's really problematic in terms of the difference in scoring for the Ravens in this game in terms of where they rank in the league and how that potentially does not bode well for the Eagles. And it's for those reasons that the Eagles probably are a touchdown underdog. And if we're going to be honest about this game, I think we've got to look at it from that perspective and really recognize sort of the dilemma that the Eagles are in this week. They're going up against a really good team, a team that I picked to win their division, and I wouldn't be surprised if they did that. They're right up at the top of their division right now, just a half game behind the Steelers. That said, I think the Eagles do keep it close. And with that, there's always the possibility that something breaks late in the game and goes your way and you're able to pull it out. But ultimately, I think that's not going to happen in this game. I think the Eagles are going to pull up short. I had said in my preseason prediction video, I thought this was a loss, and nothing certainly has happened so far in the season to change that opinion. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Ravens to win this game. My prediction for a final score is going to be Ravens 20, Eagles 16. Right now, I just don't think the Eagles are talented enough, and like I said, I've been saying all year, a lot of it has to do with the drafts and some of the picks that we've made. But hey, at least we have Jalen Hurts, who's able to play the decoy Lamar Jackson in practice this week, so that might work out for us. We'll see. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Give me your predictions for the game. I'll check in afterwards and let you know what I think. Until then, fly Eagles fly.